this July the 18th picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, July the 17th. We are here to handicap the first slate back after the All-Star break for Friday, July the 18th. Joining me, it's the Monday crew on a Thursday for a Friday. It's Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Ready for to get back going. Had a few days off, but yeah, ready to get back to it. Hopefully, we some money to be made on the second half of the season.
How was your All-Star game, etc.? I didn't do anything on the home run derby at all.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
either.
watch it. We made some speculative picks. I think my picks were largely dog shit. I backed Reds when it came out black. I took the AL and the NL one. First 5 under hit. And then the only thing in a positive way, the MVP, we were on the right lines. We had the right type of bloke, didn't we?
Yeah.
A bench bat.
Yeah.
Who could do something late. And then it went to a swing off. Mm-hmm. And we had one of the 6 blokes in the swing off at 100-1, and it wasn't him. That it was Schwarber, not Stowers. Do you know what I mean? So, like,
it happens though. It happens.
On another day, you had an absolutely, completely live 100-1 shot. Other people would have taken Schwarber for that reason. That a bench bat was the way to go. So we were kind of right. We just didn't win anything. So one of those things. Did you turn up any gems at all?
I had NL and over, so I mean those are the two.
Oh yeah, nice.
Those are the two that I had, but it was pretty. I thought it was about to just end 3-0 or 2-0 early on because there was nothing happening from like after that first initial inning where the NL got up. I think 2-0, 2-0 or 3-0. All the pitches were going really well, like striking out guys, and then Alonso hit the bomb. And it kind of opened it up a little bit more. So, yeah, I thought the NL was just going to blow them out. But then, the AL came back and responded. And then we went to, the home run thing. And, yeah, entertaining to say the least. Pretty entertaining.
The other thing I really hit the post with was that 22-1, 5 strikeouts in the first inning between Skeens and Scuba. They struck out 2 each. So we got to 4, but we couldn't get to 5. So, again, not a bad 22-1 effort.
Not bad.
The thing that annoyed me, though, right, says what time was it meant to start? 8 Eastern? So it was 1 o'clock in the morning for me, which is a little bit late. But if you're going to start it, if we say 8, start it at fucking 8. It was the singing, there was the people dancing. Yeah. I know I sound like an old man.
No, I'm with you, though. I don't like that either. I don't like for any events.
I don't mind that shit. Do all that shit, though, 20 minutes before you tell me it starts. Don't do it when I'm sitting there. Because I'm still sitting here at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And this bloke's still doing black flips, and we got another national anthem, and there's aeroplanes going over. I want to go to bed. I haven't recovered yet. Look at me little eyeballs. I'm still 3 days later, and I'm still catching up, Lonte. So do all of that. Just don't tell me you're starting at 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're not going to start till 2.
I'm with you.
And then by then I was committed because I just wanted to watch the first inning. That's all I wanted to do. And I'd committed by then. So, yeah, I've been a tired little teddy bear ever since, Lunty. D. Johnson was first at the chat. How are you doing? Bryce Baker. Bryce, welcome along. Nice to have you. Eli, asking about the golf today. Golf's gone all right, Eli. Not bad. I am live. Matt Fitzpatrick tied for the lead at 40-1. Happy with that. Skrills live from the curb. Skrills, how you doing? Who else is here? Joe Dollar. Joe Dollar, his sole intention in life is to try to antagonize me, Lonte. And I am not rising to the bait, Joe, so you can get in the sea immediately. That's not a problem. And Daniel Clemente. Daniel's here as well. Nice to have you. Daniel, full slate. round about 10 minutes ago, I noticed about 7 pitching changes from the pitches that I had handicapped, which I kind of expected this to be a little bit of a shit show. But we do have pitches for all the games, and I've got lines for all the games. It's just been a little bit of a jigsaw to put it all together, but we'll try our very best, starting with a 220, a little bit of day ball. Friday, the Cubs are good for Friday day ball for me. The Boston Red Sox taking on the Chicago Cubs. It will be Lucas Giolito taking on Colin Ray for the Cubs. The Red Sox are plus 105, Cubs minus 125. And we've got a Wrigley Field total here, which we don't often have, of 8.5. The Red Sox finished the first half the hottest team in the league, didn't they? 10-game winning streak. Out of nowhere as well. I don't really know where it came from. It kind of sneaked up on me. I checked the standings today just to see if there were any anomalies. And I saw 10 in a row. And I can't remember them winning 10 in a row. I know it was only last week, but I don't really know where it came from. Giolito finished the first half incredibly well. 6 starts, gave up a total of 3 earned runs. Boston were red hot too. But Colin Ray has been flying. 18 2/3 over his last 3 starts, has only given up 4 earned runs. And the Cubs scored 31 times in those 3 wins. Now, and this was the stat that swung it for me. Giolito in Wrigley Field is 2-3 career with a 7.86 ERA. Just doesn't like it. And it's quite a big sample. It's not like he's been there once and got hit around a little bit. He's been there plenty times. Giolito's been around the block. In a stat like that, in a park like this, I think you have to take notice. So the fact that Ray's going well, the Cubs are going well, I think we could see the Cubs winning this. I'm going to take Chicago at minus 125, Lonte.
Yeah, we'll start off with a little bit of disagreement. I'm going to go with the hot hand. I'm going to take Boston. That Giolito stat did kind of want to deter me a little bit, but just specifically off of this year in current form, he's been really good. He's at 4 scoreless outings in his last 6, 5-0 in that stretch. He's pitching deep in the games. He's been elite on the road. You just pulled out those struggles on the road in Wrigley, so that kind of deterred me a little bit. But I do think they can get to Rhea. The offense has been really good. They're hitting almost 300 the last 10, averaging 7.6 runs per 9. Rhea's been a lot better on the road than he has at home. He has been good the last 3 starts. He's got a 4 earned combined in those 3 starts. But I think offensively, both teams will be able to hit the ball. I like the over as well. Boston's over in 7 of the last 10. And, I mean, I just don't think you can knock back any of these offenses. Chicago's hitting about 260 versus righties, 5.7 runs per 9 in that span. Their bullpen is another big thing. They've not been good as of late. They ended the All-Star break over the last 10, 6.68 ERA. So the bullpen's not doing so well. I mean, they had some time to rest up, but I do think both of these teams will be able to score. I'm going to take the plus money with Giolito and Boston, though. But I like the over more than I like the side, I guess.
Okay. Eugene joined us. Eugene, welcome along. Nice to have you. And Jason, one of our old faves, Jason, has joined us. If anybody has got any picks, by all means, put them in the chat. We're welcome of all the help we can get here. 6:40 Eastern is the Chicago White Sox at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Jonathan Cannon for the White Sox. Left-handed pitcher Bailey Falter for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh are minus 166 with the White Sox plus 140 and a total Lonte of 8.5. This is a skinny price for Pittsburgh, surely.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't really want to lay 160. Although, Pittsburgh, they're 2-8 the last 10. They were 1-8 during their road trip, but they're a totally different team at home. We saw a lot of that success that they had in the prior, I think a couple of weeks before that, they were rolling. But they're just a lot of that had to do with them being home, and they're just a different team at home. So I do think that they're the right side. I would look at the minus 1.5 and the under. The under is what I like the most. Pittsburgh is also under in 8 of the last 10, 2.1 runs per 9 during that 10-game span. And just keep in mind that 8 of those or 9 of those were on the road, and their offense typically they play better at home regardless, especially as of late. And if you look at the White Sox, they're under in 6 of their last 10, 3.9 runs per 9 in that span. Cannon's been pretty good as well. He's got a low hit rate, under 5 hits in 5 of his last 7. He's got 5 combined earned runs in his last 3, 10 in his prior 2 to that. So I do think we can, the White Sox have been competitive, so I do think it'll be a low-scoring game. I'm looking at like a 3-1 type of finish now, so I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Pirates in the under.
Yeah, the under was where I landed here. You can't back the Pirates at this price. But there's so much stuff that puts you off the White Sox on the road. Means it's hard for you to want to take them. I like Jonathan Cannon. Jason thinks he can get the win here. He's had 3 good starts in a row, 3 consecutive wins. His home road splits are a little bit of a worry, though. He can keep the White Sox in this game against a poor Pittsburgh offense. Bailey Falter's been all right at home. He has a 3.25 ERA. So I think he can go okay. But you're looking at 2 teams here with their average runs per game of 3.4, both of them 3.4. The White Sox, if you look at their batting splits against lefties, 27th and below in every category. Like the highest they rank in any category is 27th. That's as much as you can get. So it's going to finish under. This finishes 3-2 to somebody, Lonte. We like to call our shot. I'm going to wake up on Saturday and someone will have won 3-2. I don't know who it is, but we don't need to know. We'll just take the under. Third game up. 6:45 Eastern, first pitch. The San Diego Padres are at the Washington Nationals. Padres are minus 172. Washington plus 145. And the total is 8.5. Callum's joined us in the chat. Callum, no football chat, Callum. £1 fine for any football chat. You can't back Dylan Cease at minus 172. It's the same as you can't. There's quite a few of these prices. We discussed them before we started. You can't back the Pirates at minus 166. We've just eliminated that possibility. You can't back Dylan Cease at minus 172. He finished the first half really badly. 3-9 record, 4.88 ERA. Not the kind of numbers you expect from Cease. He's generally better than that. His road ERA is 6.27. The problem you've got is a little bit like the White Sox. How do you take advantage of it? I'm quite low on the Nationals. I mean, that's not going to win any prizes, that take, coming into the second half. But it's Mackenzie Gore, and Mackenzie Gore is their stud. He was their all-star at the break. He's good at home, and I think maybe they can get in front. I will take them in the first 5 because the bullpen is horrible. 5.88 ERA. The Washington bullpen. I want nothing to do with that. But I think they get in front early. Washington first 5, Lonte.
Yeah, I like Washington as well. I like the first 5 in the full game. I mean, I know the bullpen has its issues, but like you said, if they can get out early, they typically have the offense, especially at home. They just haven't been – they've been fairly inconsistent as of late, 2-8 the last 10. And I like Gore. I think Gore is actually the better pitcher than Cease, to be honest with you. I mean, especially in current form. I mean, Cease has had home run issues. He had multiple home runs in 3 straight, 7 total in those 3 games. He's had 3 or more walks in 5 of his last 7. He's not as sharp on the road. I know San Diego's kind of had their number this year. Washington did. They won 6 of they've won 6 of their last 10. All of those were at home though. So now that they're on the road, Washington kind of gets a little reset. So I'm with you. I like the first 5, but I think Washington can kind of get it done full game as well. So I'm gonna take Washington. I think that price is absurd, to be honest with you. And I'm looking at the over as well. The inconsistencies of the offense Washington has been shown is kind of like it makes me like it and not love it. But I do think they'll be able to get to Cease. I mean, he's allowing a lot of contact. The Nationals at the top of the lineup can't hit the ball, so I'm probably gonna go over. And I like Washington a lot in this spot.
You can see one team just having a really crooked inning. Someone will put up a 4 or a 5. In which order it happens. We've got to get it. We need the Nationals to do it before the Padres do it. And they might just do it early enough. But at the prices, you're taking heads or tails. I'm happy with that. Plus 145. I think it's well seen that people have missed baseball for a few days because we've got loads of new faces who are itching for a baseball bet after 3 or 4 days off. Don Corleone's back. He was losing his mind. Roger David is here as well. So it's nice to have all these names and faces in the chat. Love it. Remember to download the SGPN app, where you'll get all your podcasts, all your shows, loads of good stuff happening there. If you think you know ball, you have to enter Circa's football contest worth $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There's no rakes, all extra entry money goes straight into the pot. Pick 5 teams ATS in the Circa Million, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. You have to register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, but use our proxy to play from anywhere, and you'll get a little bonus to help with SGPN's official proxy, $50 off with the code SGP at footballcontest.com. SGP will get you $50 off your proxy fees. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to put on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and football futures. Tons of locations. Crypto works a treat on there. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply at mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. 6:45 Eastern first pitch is the LA Angels at the Philadelphia Phillies, where Kyle Hendricks takes the ball for the Angels. The Phillies will throw Jesus Luzardo and are short. -212 Philadelphia, +175 the Angels. Total Lonte, 8.5.
Yeah, man, it's tough to back Luzardo at this big price, but I do think Philly is the right size. So I'm going to later run and a half, but Luzardo, he hasn't been good. He's got a 9.49 ERA in his last 7, but he is coming off 7 scoreless in San Francisco. He's kind of been up and down, similar to the season that Phillies had in certain spots. They look great. I think one thing that we pointed out on this show specifically is when teams are playing well, but they're doing it against a lackluster schedule, so to speak. So I think Philly, when they were ascending, they were playing against they had a series against Colorado, the Angels when they were down, the A's when they were in their funk, maybe a Washington here and there. Like, they would play some of these lower teams or teams that were in the middle but weren't playing as well, and I think they took advantage of that, rightfully so. But I think it overvalued them in a sense. So I think that they'll play better in the second half. They have been, they're 500 the last 10. They were 2-4 in that West Coast road trip. The offense kind of struggled in that road trip, but they're back at home. I do think the Angels, they've either scored or allowed double-digit runs in 4 of the last 6. So I think Philly is able to score here. I would take the team total over as well. I do like Philly minus the 1.5, though. I think there's some good value.
I've actually just got a player prop, and I don't think I've done this for years. It was tricky. Hendricks is Hendricks. I don't mind him. He's a little bit of a anomaly in the modern game. Joe Dollar's just talking about him in the chat there. Don't mind him. It's a nervous watch. It's always a nervous watch. You get the idea he's going to blow up all the time. And Luzardo is too inconsistent at that price. Again, it's not a very appealing prospect, taking -212. His last 5 starts, 0, 5, 2, 0, 4. So, good start, bad start. Both sides were tricky to read. Hendricks is vulnerable to these power-hitting lefties, I think, that the Phillies have. But Luzardo can go well yet. And against these Angel right-handed bats, he's shown back-to-back quality starts with 7 or more strikeouts in both. And that's the prop. I like the Luzardo K prop. The Angels don't walk much at all. The bottom 5% in quite a lot of these metrics that will get Luzardo some swing and miss. So Luzardo can go deep into the game. Like I said, the Angels aren't going to drive his pitch count up deep into the game, which means strikeouts, I think. So Jesus Luzardo K's is going to be my play on that game. Something we don't particularly often do, but I'll give it a go in this one. Next game up is the San Francisco Giants at the Toronto Blue Jays, which is a 7:07 Eastern first pitch between Justin Verlander for the Giants and Chris Bassett goes for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays -130, Giants +110, and the total here is 8.5. I noticed, what's the prevailing opinion, Lonte? You can tell me this. I've got no one to talk to about this shit here. I'm the only person in this country who's sitting watching MLB. Justin Verlander's brother was having a bit of a whinge. What's his name? I knew his name. Ben? Is it Ben Verlander? Was whinging about... He whinges about quite a lot of things, but he was complaining that Verlander's been really, really unlucky. Is there a strong opinion about Verlander's brother? Your face when I said that, you looked like you didn't know what I was talking about.
No, I did. I didn't even know he had... I mean, I'm not that dialed in. I didn't know his brother was
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't been a big fan of Verlander. I mean, he's old at the end of the day. I mean, it's a young man's game. I mean, he's still been serviceable. Don't get me wrong. He started off rocky early on, but I don't know about unlucky. I just think he just hasn't. He wasn't good early, but he's been better, a lot better as of late. So, and I give him credit for that. But can he do it consistently? I mean, I don't really know.
He's unbackable at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
He is. Even his better starts, the Giants have been losing. They've lost 5 in a row. They've lost 10 of his 12 starts. I mean, you can't back that. 4.99 road ERA. No, thank you. Bassett's going well. His recent numbers are kind of skewed by one bad start at Boston, but he's got a 2.81 home ERA. The Blue Jays are 32-16 at home. I mean, the ticks in the boxes here are all on the side of the Toronto Blue Jays. Yep. Minus 130 is a good price, Lonte.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was missing something, Mal. I mean, I'm glad you kind of confirmed it for me. I mean, we got the better team. We got the better pitcher at home where they've been playing extremely well. Great price. Like, I don't even have to – I was expecting to lay like 160, but now we're laying 130. That's a bargain. And I think it actually opened 140, and San Francisco took some money. Maybe that had to do with maybe a pitching change or something like that. But, I mean, if you look at it, like, Verlander's hit rate has been high. You talked about the numbers. He's had at least 7 hits in 3 of his last 5. The San Francisco offense is not good as a whole, and they're typically not good on the road. Toronto 7-3 in the last 10. They're hitting almost 260 versus righties. They're hitting around 280 versus them in the last 10. I like Bassett. He's 4-1 in his last 8 outings. 7 of those are starts. He's fairly good and consistent at home. Yeah, I thought I was missing something, man. I like Bassett a lot here. If you want to go with like a safer route or get like some plus money, Bassett to record the win. That should be like right around like 120-ish, 130-ish. I think that's a good price as well. But I think Blue Jays minus 130 is a bargain.
Yeah, nice angle on Bassett getting the W there as well. I like that, Lonte. We will go back to the top of the page for a 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Cincinnati Reds and the New York Mets. Nick Lodolo for the Reds. Clay Holmes gets the start for the Mets, who are minus 166. The Reds plus 140, and the total, Lonte, is 8.
Yeah, man, I wanted to take the Mets in this series. I thought the Mets are one of those teams. You know how you always going into the second half of the season, you always kind of identify a few teams that you want to bet on. The Mets were one of those teams that I was going to bet on. They're obviously going to get healthy. I think you got Senga coming back to share up the rotation. Manaya is coming back as well. I think he's going to be set to make his debut. I think maybe next week or something. I'm not sure, but I do think the Mets are one of those teams. The Reds, I can't figure them out. It's been like a yearly thing of me not being able to figure them out. They've been fairly inconsistent. I do like Lodolo though. He's been a lot more dominant at home. So if you look at his starts, he's allowed 3 or less in 11 of his last 12. 7 of those 12 were at home. He does have some home run issues. Allowed a home run in 6 of his last 7. I do think the Mets will be able to build upon some of the things that they did before the All-Star break, where they were hitting the ball really well. They were 6-4 in their last 10. So I'm going to take the Mets. I'm probably going to lay the 1.5, thinking that their offense kind of can get to Lodolo a little bit earlier. And once you get to that bullpen of the Reds, I think the Mets lineup will be able to establish themselves and get a few runs across. So I'm going to go Mets minus 1.5. Probably would bet their team total as well.
Lodolo has gone well lately. He's faced some quite decent offenses: Philly, San Diego, the Yankees. And he's done okay. He's got a 2.56 road ERA. Clay Holmes, quite up and down. His 3 July starts yielded a 5.28 ERA, but he has been good at home as well. The Mets aren't good against lefties, particularly lefties who throw off-speed stuff, as it happens. And Lodolo does lean on his change, on his curve, a lot. But Cincinnati aren't hitting either. 226 batting average in their last 10. So I think we're just going to get a low scoring game here. Two pitches that I quite like. It's not a great matchup for the Mets. And also Lodolo, Cincinnati say not hitting well either. So yeah, low scorer. I'll take the under 8. Lonte, I'm watching the women's Euros here. Football, England against Sweden. It's just finished 2-2, so it's going to penalties for all the beans. Do you want to take England or do you want to take Sweden?
I'm gonna take England.
Okay, you take England. I'll take Sweden. I will.
You got a bet on this?
Go along. Excellent. Next up is back down the page to a 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Athletics and the Cleveland Guardians. Left-handed pitcher JP Sears. For the A's, for Cleveland, it will be Slade Ciccone. Odds are plus 120 for the A's, minus 140 for the Guardians. Total Lonte 8.5.
And honestly, I thought that this was a little bit short as well. I know the issue is that Cleveland doesn't hit lefties well. They're like 215 versus lefties. But Ciccone's been really good, man. He's coming off a gym in Houston, where they played extremely well. He's been extremely effective in the last 2 months. Cleveland's owned the A's as of late, 8-2 in the last 10. They took 2 of 3 this year. All of those were low-scoring games and went under. I would kind of go in that direction, but I think Cleveland's been far more impressive. I mean, they're 6-1 in the last 7. I talked about that sweep in Houston. Those 6 wins were all on the road, and now they're back at home. They scored 41 runs over that 7-game span. The A's are playing a little bit better as of late. They do have back-to-back series wins over Toronto, who we just talked about, been playing well, and Atlanta. Series is okay. He did allow 3 earned and 5 innings pitched versus Cleveland back in June. But I think typically we go with the same philosophy that we went with the last time. We got the better team in better form, got the better pitcher. I'm going to take Cleveland at this number.
I'm going to disagree with you here, Lonte. I'm not sure about that better pitcher stance.
You're right.
I originally handicapped Severino for this, and I wanted to take the A's, but they didn't win enough for Sevy's games. It's now flipped to JP Sears, and I love taking JP Sears in this spot. 3 games in a row he's won against good opposition. Definitely worth a punt in this. In the Cleveland left-handed pitching, things almost become a system play for me. Like you said, they just can't win. Ciccone's steady. 3.44 ERA, 127 whip. Absolutely fine. Cleveland did finish the first half a little bit better, but I'm going to ride this horse until something changes. But I do like Sears. The Severino had put me off, but now we're seeing Sears. I'm a much more bullish about it. I'll take the A's as a dog at plus 120. Walking Bankroll 33 has finally made it into the live. Well done, Walking Bankroll. There's loads of people here, which leads me to believe either I've pressed the wrong button when I've set this up, which I do occasionally, Lonte. This will be getting streamed live on Dylan's, could be Dylan or Scott. I've done something wrong. Or we're incredibly popular, I suspect. Lonte, it's probably the first one, but people are here anyway. Even if you've done it by accident.
They weren't able to bet. People were betting on. There's no sports to bet on, really. I mean, we got the golf. You got the summer league. Baseball's been off for 3 days, so people itching for some winners, man. I'm hoping we can deliver. We got a nice crowd, so I'm hoping we can actually deliver. And well, at least on the games that we disagree on, we're going to be a winner one way or the other.
With the lack of football, me and Barry did the Premier League show on Tuesday. We did some. Barry ended up in the Chinese Super League. He was tipping games from the Chinese Super League on Tuesday. That's how far afield we had to go to try and get our football fix on Tuesday. England just about to take the first penalty. Lonte, updates to follow. 7:10 Eastern, the Kansas City Royals are at the Miami Marlins. Kansas City officially TBD. I believe it's going to be Seth Lugo for Miami. It is your guy, Sandy Alcantara. Miami are a small home underdog here, plus 105. The Royals are minus 125, and the total, Lonte, is 8.
Yeah, you know what? Kansas City is another team that I didn't like coming in. I faded them on the win total. and a lot of other markets, but they've been playing well as of late. I'll give them that. They're 7-3 in the last 10. A lot of that damage was done at home. 5 of those 7 wins were at home. I mean, Sandy's like he'll play good for he'll pitch well for a couple of games, and then he'll have another game where you say, okay, he's putting together, and then he'll go through 2 or 3 innings and be okay, and then he has that one inning where he just gets bombed, and that's what I'm afraid of here. And I know Kansas City is not really offensively driven. They don't typically score runs, especially not on the road. But as of late, they've been a little bit better. Miami's offense is actually pretty good at home. I'm going to look at an over here. Both teams have hit the ball well over the last 10, despite being inconsistent offensively. Miami's hitting about 265 at home. I think if Kansas City is able to do anything offensively, it'll be at the top of the lineup. I don't really love the bottom of their lineup at all. But I think if they can get to Sandy early, I think we can see some runs here. So I'm going to go over. If I had to make a play, depending on the pitcher, it would probably be with the Royals.
England has just taken the worst penalty I've ever seen. Lugo's numbers are great. Kansas City have won 4 of his last 5 starts. His June ERA was 1.26 and 2.19 in his 2 July starts. So no notes on there. I thought Sandy was making a bit of a fight back, didn't he? He looked like he was putting it together. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't. That little renaissance didn't last particularly. It sort of went down the pan. 18 earned runs in his last 3 starts. There's a Thomas Dinetti, one of our listeners, messages me with his picks most days. And for the last 2 weeks, my reply has just been, I quite like Miami. About 9 out of 14 days, I've at big prices every day. And they've won more than they haven't, like plus 140, plus 160. But I can't do it here. Instinctively wanted to, but when I got into it, like Lugo, not sure about Alcantara. So yeah, I don't feel great about taking the Royals at minus 125, but they have been better. But yeah, it's basically a fade of Sandy, so I'll take the Royals at minus 125. Randy's joined us in the chat. Randy, welcome along. How you doing? Let's move on and let me tell you about Underdog. Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire. No arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy. Use our code MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MLB SGPN. And you have heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they've just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise. MLB Power Trends are 63% hitting at the minute. The WNBA 35 and 20 as well. So download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends and start betting smarter. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. 7:15 Eastern first pitch is the New York Yankees at the Atlanta Braves. I originally handicapped Fried, officially now TBD. I believe it's going to be Marcus Stroman. Lonte, do you give me a little nod of agreement there?
For the Yankees? I think it's going to be Stroman. Price-wise, I would, price-wise, early on, it opened up a little bit high. So I think it was going to be Fried, and then maybe they kind of just decided not to go with Fried.
Atlanta are going to throw Spencer Strider. I've got the prices here. I haven't got a total. I've got the Braves at even money and the Yankees at minus 120. And I just can't be doing with Stroman at minus 120. Was poor last time out. The Strider has finally steadied the ship, but now he needs to kick in. He needs to have a good second half now. He needs to get back to the Spencer Strider that we know. But the problem's obvious here with the Braves and with Strider. If you look at his last 3 starts, he's pitched okay, and the Braves have lost the games 5-4, 3-2, and 2-1. So the fact that Strider pitches well, this is going to help you out much if the Braves can't win any of his matches. The Yankees are not a good price here at minus 120. I would want to take an over, but I haven't seen it. I mean, Stroman's not been terrible. I don't want to back him. I certainly don't want to back him at this price. I'd take runs if I saw maybe over 8.5. I think with Strider's name on the docket, the price might kind of be artificially low. The total might be artificially low. So I'd want to take some runs here, but that's the one line we haven't seen, Lonte.
Yeah, you know what? We talked about those teams that we circled. Atlanta's one of those teams that I got my eye on, man. I want to see how they come out. I think this price is a good price for Strider, who, I mean, no pun intended, but he was hitting the stride, going over the last few starts like you documented. And the Yankees have had their issues. And I think Atlanta's only 9 games back of the wild card. Now, I'm not saying they're a good bet to make, but I'm saying that I would look at it. If you look at their schedule, you look at some of the underlying metrics, I think they trend for some positive regression their way. And I think it starts here in the series. It's a big series for them, especially with the other teams in front of them playing, pretty tricky series as well. So I like the Braves in this spot. I like the plus money. I like Strider. The Yankees' offense is hit or miss. They were shut down over the last 2 games after scoring like 11 runs. If you look at them on the road, haven't performed well. They lost 11 of their last 13 at home. Now, to contrast that, Atlanta's lost 7 of their last 9 at home, 4 in a row. But typically, they perform at a higher level at home. And I think the All-Star break did them some good, or will do them some good. And I think the Braves are going to be a buy-on team for me going forward, Mal, especially in this spot right here with plus money beside their name.
If Sweden scored this penalty, you've lost. Oh, no. They've got the goal. They need to score to win, Lonte. They've got the goalie to take the penalty, and she's just smashed it so far over the crossbar. Like a field goal. That's like a 48-yard field goal.
That's like I would do.
Justin Tucker on that. Oh, my God. Right, so it's now sudden death, Lonte. Our £5 note is still hanging in the balance. If you give me a tenner to back this Yankees-Braves game, you have to back the Braves. You are absolutely right. 7:35 Eastern, the Baltimore Orioles at the Tampa Bay Rays. Uncle Charlie Morton goes for Baltimore. Taj Bradley for Tampa Bay. It is -120, the Rays. It is even money for Baltimore. And the total, Lonte, is 9.
Yeah, you know what? I like Baltimore. I like over. Baltimore has been okay. They've been pretty steady. But Morton, man, he's been much improved. 2.72 ERA in his last 7 starts. He's had 1 earned in 6 innings pitched at Tampa Bay mid-June. So he pitched them pretty well. He's keeping the ball in the park. 1 home run allowed in his last 2 months. Bradley, on the other hand, is coming off 4 straight road starts. He's not been pitching well at home. 13 earned runs combined in his last 2 at home. I know Tampa they went on that streak where they were like ascending and then they kind of came back down to earth. Now, are they as good as that, that ascension, or bad as what they have been as of late? I don't think so. Right in the middle. But I do think Baltimore, Charlie Morton can go pretty good. So let's go with Baltimore at the plus money, and let's go with the over.
Both teams missed their first penalty of sudden death. They've scored 4 out of 12, Lonte. I reckon you could pick the bottom corner out better than these.
No, I'm definitely. I can't do it.
No, you be able to kick a football 12 yards.
I don't think so, man.
I think you have to back Baltimore even money. I'm so impressed with how Charlie Morton fought back from what looked like a career-ending shit show in the early part of the season. His May, June, and July been outstanding. Baltimore have won 7 of his last 8 starts. He's been a real point of reliability for them when the Orioles have, for me, been hard to pin down. Taj Bradley finished badly in the first half, and so did the Tampa Bay Rays, 4-game losing streak. So I'm happy to give Baltimore a chance here at an underdog price of even money. I'll take Baltimore at plus 100. Bennett's joined us. Bennett, welcome. How we doing? Nice to have you. 8:05 Eastern, the Detroit Tigers are at the Texas Rangers. Reese Olson for Detroit, and left-handed pitcher Patrick Corbin goes for the Rangers. The Rangers are even money at home. Detroit -120, and the total here is at 8.5. She's just kicked that miles over the bar. England win, Lonte. I owe you a $5. Checks in the post. Reese Olson, 295 ERA, 124 whip. that plays, got no problem with that at all. Not quite as sharp on the road, whereas ERA is just above 3.5. And he did see Texas once earlier this year, and they hit him around a little bit. The Tigers were another team, a bit like the Rays, who finished with a 4-game losing streak. So I think the break came at the right time for Detroit. Corbin's still going quite well, 379. Another one like Morton, who I'm pleased to see has had a little renaissance. He's got a 379 home ERA. I can't quite pull the trigger on Texas here, as the Tigers hit lefties quite well. They've got a 266 batting average against the lefties, an 18-9 win record. So I'm going to go for runs. I think we can see some runs here. I'll take the over 8.5, Lonte.
Yeah, so you couldn't pull the trigger on Detroit. I will. They get a little bit of a revenge spot. I mean, Texas took 2 of 3. I mean, all the way back in May. 2 of those wins came from DeGrom and Evaldi. So, 2 at the top of the rotation for Texas. And Detroit's got to get back on track. You talked about the what I was going to bring up, which was the success they've had versus lefties. 5.5 runs per 9, which supports your over. They haven't been hitting the ball well as of late. They're under 220 in the last 10, but they do perform well on the road. I like Olsen. He's been solid in his 2 starts since coming back from IL. Does need to limit the contact, but I don't think Texas offensively, is too much to scream about. He's been pretty dominant on the road. Texas on the other side, I mean, they're 500 in the last 10. Corbin's been okay, like you talked about, but he does have a high hit rate. I think Detroit can take advantage of that, especially with their success they've had against lefties. So I'll take Detroit. I agree with you on the over as well. I mean, if you look at the runs scored per 9 last 10, Texas is at 6.1. So if you add that 6.1 to the 5.5 for Detroit last 9, that's about 11.6 runs per 9. So that'll easily get you over that number right there, Mal.
Love it, Lonte. 8:40 Eastern first pitch. Minnesota Twins at the Colorado Rockies. Chris Paddock for the Twins and Kyle Freeland, left-handed pitcher for the Rockies, who are plus 145 at home. The Twins minus 172 total at 10.5. I've got another you can't bet here, and it's you can't bet Chris Paddock at minus 172, Lonte. Is that right?
Absolutely, man. You can't do it. I prefer, now I will prefer putting a unit on the first 5 versus the full game, just because of the Rocky bullpen and all the shenanigans that they could be able to deal with. But if you look at Freeland, man, he's been okay. I mean, if you look at, he's only allowed over 3 earned runs once in his last 4 home starts. And if you look at some of these teams that he's been playing, he allowed 3 earned runs to Boston, who we talked about has won 10 straight, and offensively he's been really good. He allowed 3 versus Houston, who's been on a roll, 3 versus the Mets, and 1 versus the Phillies. So those are all competent teams. It's not like he's facing, the bottom dregs of the league. So he's been performing pretty well, especially at home. I think this price is too outrageous for Paddock, especially on the road. At home, okay, but on the road, can't do it. So I like the Rockies a ton here.
Yeah, I've got the Rockies on my side, slightly different angle. Paddock gave up 6 earned against the Cubs last time. Generally gives up between 2 and 4 earned runs in his start. 4.95 ERA is perfectly fair. Actually goes up to 5.5 on the road. Kyle Freeland has a fairly similar profile to Paddock. He's got a 6.69 ERA here in Coors Field. Just all round ugly, but I'm not keen on either offense. But so my angle in here was that Paddock's home run to fly ball rate is high. He's poor against lefties. Lefties are hitting 298 off him. And Colorado can get a few lefties in their lineup here. Ryan McMahon, there's Togley, a switch hit, I think, something like that. So I'm going to take a Colorado team total, just eliminate some of the peripherals around this, eliminate the bullpens and whether the Twins can get to Freeland. I'll take a Colorado team total because I think they can definitely rack up a few runs against the Twins and Chris Paddock. 9:40 Eastern first pitch. The St. Louis Cardinals are at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Andre Palante. In fact, both teams changed the pitchers pretty late here. Andre Palante for the Cardinals will take on Brandon Pfaadt of the Diamondbacks. Minus 125 Arizona, plus 105 for the cards. I've got no totals on these last 3 games here. Palante is kind of unreliable. He's got a steady mid-4 ERA. There's not much in his profile that makes you want to feed him or back him. He's just kind of there. And Brandon Pfaadt, equally not particularly keen on. A name I expected a little bit better of, but I'm getting a bit bored of waiting for him to put this sequence of performances together here. It's just his game. Logs all the same. You get some decent length out of him. He went 8 innings last time, but earned runs 2-4, 2-4, 2. It's just not anything that makes you particularly want to back him. He's got a 4.27 home ERA. I just think we'll see some runs here, Lonte. And there's quite a few, a couple of good pointers towards totals here. St. Louis at 28-20 to the over, averaging 9.4 runs per game in their games in 6 of the last 8. The over hit 6 of the last 8, averaging 9.4. 9.4 runs per game is also the D-backs total. They've gone over 6 of their last 9 at home, and they're 17-13 to the over in their home games as well. So all the trends are for the over. It's hard to pick a side. Someone's going to win 6-4 is the answer. So we get 10 runs on to again. I can't tell you it is, but I don't need to.
Yeah, I was thinking 7-5 now, so we're on the same track.
Okay.
It was hard for me to pick a side as well. I think both teams are somewhat similar, but if you look at it from this perspective, St. Louis has won 7 of the last 10 versus Arizona. They swept them back in May. All of those were competitive games, but again, like it's too hard to find like a real edge on either side. So that's what got me to the over. St. Louis is over in 8 of the last 10. And you talked about them more long-term, which is better. They've also scored 5+ runs in 4 straight games. Arizona scored 5+ runs in 6 of the last 10. Both pitchers are comparable. I think the offense is the stronger unit of each side, especially in this specific game. So I love the over in this spot. As long as it's not, obviously I think it'll be, around like 8.5, 9, but I do think 7-5, 6-5, something like that is going to be the score, and we end up with one of the better. I think this could be one of the better, more entertaining games on the slate, just due to all the volatility that goes on with both of these teams. So I do love the over for with you on this one, man.
I saw people. I've never seen this market where I am, where you can take a team on a particular night to have the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone did it with the Marlins last week when they scored 11 against somebody. Can't remember who it was. It was a night I wanted the Marlins, but I never saw that market before. So I'll have to have a little dig around, see if I can find it.
It's plenty of fun markets like that.
This is the sort of game.
Like you can find like most strikeouts on the day, like all different kinds of stuff. It actually, so what happens is they get a little bit more creative. Well, I know here, I can't speak on there, but like they get a little bit more creative here as we get into the like real like grind of the season, where it's like coming down to like playoffs, playoff season and stuff like that. So a lot more is probably offered during that time.
Yeah, I mean the books, my books are getting better at it, certainly than 5 years ago when I first started. But I'm still stuck with the fairly standard stuff like 10:10 Cowboy time Eastern first pitch is the penultimate game of the show between the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. Left-handed pitcher Brandon Walter for Houston. Seattle are throwing Brian Wu. That's a late change from Luis Castillo. Seattle -120. Houston even money with no total posted yet.
Yeah, tough. Another tough game, man. Another good game, but a tough one for me. If you look at it, both of these teams, they played in 2 series. Houston's just edged them out head-to-head 4-3. Both series were early on in the year, I think April, May. But they were, most of them were competitive. Houston struggled to close. They've lost 5 or 6. All of those were at home. We talked about that big statement like series that they had against the Dodgers. But, they faltered as of late. I kind of like Seattle in this spot. I mean, they were swept by the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. But then they turned around and they swept Detroit. They scored 35 runs in that Detroit sweep. They've won 5 of the last 7 at home. Walter, he's been okay. He does go deeper into games, but his hit rate has been a little bit higher. He's also allowed a home run in 6 straight. So I do think Seattle offensively can kind of carry that momentum over from what they had before the break, and offensively should be able to score some runs here on Walter. So I'm going to go Seattle at the short price. Now, I don't love it. I like it. I don't really love it, but I like it.
I agree with you. I took Seattle. Walter, relatively consistent length, but the upper always eventually get to him. 15 earned runs in his last 4 starts. Brian Wu is absolutely fine. Like him a lot. Improving his trajectory is heading in the right direction. Seattle are 5 games back. This is a big series, actually. Houston have a 5-game lead. But Seattle finished well before the break. Finished with 3 wins, 5 games back. And Houston are not nearly as good on the road. Completely different team on the road than they are at Minute Maid. It's not called that anymore. It's called something different, isn't it? But anyway, Seattle here, I think, can close the gap. Yeah, this is a fun series, but Seattle can get this one here at minus 120. And the final game on the board sees the Milwaukee Brewers at the LA Dodgers for another Cowboy time, 10:10 Eastern. First pitch, both officially TBD. I've seen Quintana and Glasnow earlier on. I'm now seeing Quinn Priester taking on Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers minus 190. The total plus, the Brewers plus 155. Brewers finished the first half. Second only to the Red Sox. 7-game winning streak. They are now only 1 game back from the Cubs. Priester's done okay lately, but he has faced a lot of bad offenses, and that's not what he's going to face here in Los Angeles on Friday. Clayton Kershaw, however, his home ERA is quite high, so it's another one. I think we can get some runs here. Brewers were hot. I think we can fade Priester. I mean, the Dodgers are always capable of blowing anybody up. Certainly Priester. But Kershaw's home numbers aren't particularly strong. And the Brewers were swinging a good bat before the break. So I think both teams can help us out to an over here.
Yeah, I can agree with that over, but I'm going to lay the 1.5 now with the Dodgers, man. I think the Dodgers are going to turn it on. They're getting healthier. They're getting those pitchers back. The offense is going to come along. They haven't been going as well lately. I think they're hitting about like under 210 the last 10, and that's pretty disgusting for a Dodgers offense with all this talent. 2.9 runs per 9, 3-7 the last 10. I mean, let's not forget, they got outscored 15-4 at Milwaukee, and that was pretty bad. So I think they're going to want to put a number on the Brewers. So I like the Dodgers minus that 1.5. I think I like them minus 1.5 the entire series. I think they're going to want to prove a point. I think they'll come out and play extremely well. They kind of been not sleepwalking, but they kind of been, like just kind of chilling a little bit through the first part of the season. Now I think they're going to turn it on, similar to what we saw last year. Remember, people were talking about like the Dodgers like not performing up to expectations, and then they kind of came out after the All-Star break and like really turned it on. I think we see a similar type of pattern here. So I'm going to take the Dodgers minus 1.5.
Okay, thank you very much, Lonte. We did it. We got 15 games in the books. I think it's your turn to lead off. Yeah, Lonte knows. He's already looking. Get going then. Lock it down, please.
So for the lock, let me just make sure that we got the right price. 130 for Toronto. I think that is insane. We got the better pitcher, better team at home. They've been dominant at home. Bassett's been pretty good at home. Verlander, you talked about. I wouldn't say unlucky like his brother said, but maybe a little bit of noise in his numbers. But he hasn't been good early on. His hit rate's high. I think Toronto will be able to take advantage of that, and he'll suffer another loss. So I'm sorry to Ben if he's watching about your brother suffer another loss. But I like Toronto minus the 130. For the dog, let's go plus 140 with Washington. Too big of a price for Cease on the road. I mean, you just can't lay that with him and how he's not been performing well, period, especially not on the road. So plus 140 for Washington is a bet that I really, really like.
Yeah, you've probably taken two. The two that I would take, Lonte. Yeah, there's quite a few underdogs I like, but they're really small. I would back Atlanta at even money. I would back Baltimore at even money. In terms of a look, I do like the Blue Jays. I'll tell you, I'll give my dog first because I'm going to contradict myself actually with my home run pick in a minute. But I'm going to take the A's at Cleveland behind JP Sears. They still can't hit lefties, and Sears is decent. So the Athletics at plus 120 is my dog. For my lock, let's take the over between the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. We both liked it. We were both happy fading Palante and Brandon Pfaadt. So we can get some runs in that game. So I'll lock up the over in the Cardinals at the Diamondbacks. My home run play, I'll lead off because I did say I was just going to contradict myself. And JP Sears does struggle to keep the ball in the yard. And some of these left-handed hitters for Cleveland can get to him tomorrow. And the obvious one is Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez. This is as close to a guarantee as we're going to get here on this show. I'm going to give Jose Ramirez. Would not surprise me if, same game parlay, Jose Ramirez, Nolan Jones, Kyle Manzardo, they're all going to hit home runs. And then remarkably, the A's are still going to win the game, Lonte. So that's going to be fun, that one.
So I'm going to stay in the same game as my lock, and I'm going to go Bo Bichette. I think Bo Bichette can perform well. He hasn't hit a home run in about almost 2 weeks, but he's been hitting the ball extremely well, man. He's on a 1, 2, 3. He's on like a 10-game hit streak. He just hasn't been able to hit the ball out of the park. But I do think at home, big spot, I think he comes up and performs well. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes deep and has a really, really good game tomorrow against Verlander.
Okay, Lonte. Thank you very much. Well done. First one back into the second half of the season. I think I am back with Dylan tomorrow, and then maybe you on Sunday. Scott's doing something fancy in Florida. Scott's on his holidays.
Rich, man. That's what rich people do.
We are here. Yep. Myself and Lonte will keep turning the cogs of industry here to try and get some winners on the board. Thank you, everyone. The chat was absolutely buzzing tonight. Like I say, I think I pressed the wrong button. So if you're here by accident, welcome. Stay. Come back every day. It's loads of fun. Callum's come back. Callum went away and he's now come back just to talk about how shit those women's penalties were. So that's commitment, Callum. Thank you very much. Good luck with all your bets. I'm back tomorrow with D-Rock, I believe. Cheers, Lonte. We will see you all down the road. Cheers.